Hello, welcome to Books Alive Book Talks for kids in grades kindergarten through 2nd. I'm Miss Kara. I have a stack of books for you here today, and I hope that you'll find something in there to read that you can enjoy. If not, you can always ask us at the library. It's our job to help you find your next favorite book. So up first, it's a picture book. It's called Amy Wu and the Patchwork Dragon, and it's by Cat Zhang and illustrated by Charlene Chua. So in this book, Amy Wu is in class and her teacher reads them a story about dragons, and then they have to make a dragon. But Amy makes a dragon that doesn't look like the rest of her class, and she's not really sure that she wants to share it with everyone. And then after school, her friends go to her house and her grandma tells them about dragons that don't sound like the dragons they heard in the story at school. So Amy comes up with an idea of how she can share new dragons with her classroom. So she draws an idea up and she shares it with her family, and they spend all night making it. And the next day, Amy goes to school with a big paper bag. And you'll have to read the book to see what happens at the end, but I love this story. I think it's such a interesting way to share things that we know at home with our friends at school. All right, up next is a non-fiction, so that means it's true, story about fungus. It's called Fungus Among Us, and it's written by Joy Keller, and it's illustrated by Erica Salcedo. And look at these end papers. Isn't that beautiful? So in it, our main character is going for a walk in the woods, and whoop, there's some fungus. And so she runs and she runs and she gets into her backyard, but oh, there's some more fungus. And then up the tree she goes. So this big text here is a rhyming story, and then can you see this small text over here? On every page, there's this tiny text, and that tells us facts about the fungus on the page. And then if you want to know more, at the very back, you can meet a mycologist. And a mycologist is a scientist who studies fungus. So I thought that this book was really fun. I liked the rhyming part, and I thought that having the little blocks of text on there to tell me more was great. It's a good read. It's a lot of fun. Let's see. All right, up next I'm going to share with you a book that's on the Monarch list this year. We have a bunch of copies of this at the library. It's called Drawn Together, and then it's got this orange sticker, and so that's how you know that it's part of the Monarch collection. And it is written by Min Lei, and it is illustrated by Dan Santat. And in this story, we have a little boy and his grandpa, and they don't speak the same language, but the little boy goes to visit his grandpa. He gets dropped off. And the little boy gets out his colored pencils and his sketchbook, and he starts to draw. And then look at Grandpa's face. Can you guess what's gonna happen next? Turns out Grandpa can draw too. And so through the rest of the book, they work together to create an amazing story. And I'm going to tell you a story about me. The reason I like this book so much is that my grandma also liked to draw. And so when I was little and I would go visit her, we would sit down and we would draw together. So this reminds me of being little and spending time with my grandma. But also the illustrations are just phenomenal. There's so much going on. It's like a feast for your eyes. So that's Drawn Together by Min Lei and illustrated by Dan Santat. Up next, we have a non-fiction book, but it's a picture book. So it's a true story, but illustrated. It's called Try It, How Frida Kaplan Changed the Way We Eat. It's written by Mara Rockcliffe, and it's illustrated by Giselle Potter. So Frida Kaplan worked at a place called the 7th Street Produce Market. And there, lots of people sold produce, so that's fruit and veg. And then people who ran restaurants or people who were cooking at home could go to the produce market and buy produce to cook with. And when she started, they sold pretty much 3 things. They sold apples, they sold potatoes, and they sold bananas, and that was it. But Frida really liked to try new foods. So here we see her with some mushrooms. And she encouraged other people to try new foods. And because of Frida, not only does our grocery store have mushrooms, we have kiwi fruit, we have jicamas and sugar snap peas, we have blood oranges, we have cherimoyas, we have champagne grapes, we have Asian pears, and we have black radishes. So Frida spent her entire grown-up life introducing people in restaurants and people who cook at home to all kinds of new fruits and vegetables. Have you ever been to the grocery store and seen a fruit or vegetable that you've never tried before? Sometimes I like to pick something that I've never had before and take it home and see what it tastes like. And I've discovered some pretty tasty things that way. So let's try it, how Frida Kaplan changed the way we eat. Let's do this one. This is a graphic novel. So that means that our illustrations are in these boxes and most of the text is speech bubbles. So this is Beak and Alley, Unlikely Friends. So this is Beak, it's a bird, and there's Alley, Alley's an alligator, and this is by Norm Fute. And in this book, Beak the bird has just moved to the swamp and is looking for a new best friend and thinks that Alley will make an excellent best friend. But Alley is kind of grouchy and is not really into being friends with new people. So Beak tries to win Alley over with all kinds of stuff like donuts. And in every chapter, there's a little bit of an adventure with Beak and Alley. And it's very funny, it's a little bit silly. If you like stories about friendship and you like silly stories, you're really gonna like this one. All right, I've got 2 left to share with you. So I'm gonna share this. This is an easy reader, so this is for my friends who are just starting to read on their own. It's Pete the Kitty, Ready, Set, Go-Kart, and it's by Kimberly and James Dean. So in this book, Pete the cat is just a little kitten, and he has built himself a go-kart out of stuff that he has found. And in it, he's gonna go take it for a ride, and his friends are along for the adventure. So it's a level 1, so if you're just starting to read on your own, and it's got a very fun story. And I think that you'll really enjoy it. All right, our last book is a picture book. And it's called Outside Inside, and it's by Luyuan Pham. She did the text and the illustration, so she's the author and the illustrator. And this book is about what happened last spring when we all had to go home because of COVID. So it says, everybody who was outside went inside. You remember that? Everyone, everywhere, all over the world. So I like this book because the illustration shows us all different kinds of people doing all different kinds of things. And there they are outside of the hospital. And here we go. We have people in their houses doing all kinds of things to pass the time. So I like the illustrations. It's got a lot of things to look at. And at the end, it does this really fun thing that I really like, right? I love it when books do this, when they open up really big. You ready? Oh, look at that. And at the end, she imagines a world where we can all go outside and be with our friends and family again. And then if you really, really want to, there's a big old author's note at the back. So that is Outside Inside by Lu Yen Pham. And that is all I have for you today. I hope that you found something in that stack that was interesting to you. If not, again, you can always ask us librarians at the library. It's our job to help you find your next favorite book. I'll see you guys next time. Have a good day. Bye.